What's up, everybody? Jinx here. Gonna do another super awesome informative type video for you guys on the LKL trapping experience. It's my experience as a personal vlog type episode. It is informative, so you're gonna catch me more or less doing a lot of talking. If you're interested in the LKL trapping experience for some personal instruction on how to become a better top level type trapper, this is going to be a good course for you. So I'm going to break it down. We're going to go all the way into lodging. We're going to talk about what it is, who's putting it on, how much it's costing, and basically what I gathered out of doing that. So it's going to be a nice informative type video. I'm going to try my best to put as much of my photos into this video. And if you're on the fence, you want to know what the LKL trapping experience is like, this video is for you. So let's check it out. Okay guys, real quick, if you did a Google search, if you searched this video, LKL trapping experience, you came upon Trapping with Jinx. That's my channel. I'm going in my 5th season doing trapping related videos. I will do at least 40 vlogging type videos. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe after you watch this video in its entirety, and then hit the big bell notifications, turn those on. You don't want to miss anything. I will produce at least 2 to 3 videos a week during the trapping season. Be a lot of great content. So here we go. We're going to talk about the LKL trapping experience, what it is. So this is a training course offered by 3 top level type instructors. Top lot stretchers, No BS lures with Kendall Obermeyer, and Liesl Russot with Russot Lures. These three individuals are the ones that are hosting this, and it is based in Minneapolis, Kansas. Cost of the event was $1,300. I had to reserve that February, March. The class was in May, if I remember correctly. Middle part of May, and that's where it is. Leon with Top Lot Stretchers, he does the fur handling. He discusses in detail the fur handling. Let's see, Kendall Obermeyer and Liesl Russot, they're both into the trapping related aspects. So all of those two gentlemen put up big numbers, whether it be mink with Kendall, whether it be coyotes and predators with both those two, Liesl and Kendall. That's really what you're going to get instructor wise. So I probably was doing a March deadline. I put about $650 down. I paid another $600 before the class ended, or when I got there. So I paid $1,250 out of pocket, which was a good investment to me. It was the middle part of May, and that pretty much discussed what the LKL trapping experience was in general. Now I'll go into the lodging. Okay, so here I'll make sure I'll post some pictures of the lodging, where you're going to stay. This was in Minneapolis, Kansas, which is about north of Salina, Kansas, right north central Kansas. We stayed in a guide outfitters type of business. Now, I will say in advance, I did ask to put together a video like this. This is my personal opinion. However, I didn't really, I'm not in cahoots with the guys. I'm totally giving you an opinion-based video on my experience. So I'm going to share with you guys my pictures of what I came up with. When it comes to lodging, you can go to the lodge yourself. You can look at the pictures yourself of their lodge pictures. So I'm not really sharing anything that's in too much detail of the video that would take away from the guys. I feel like I'm just kind of giving you guys a good idea of what the place is about. So the lodging was at a Guide Outfitters Lodge, a really nice building. We had class size. I'll get there first. Our class, we had 6 gentlemen, I believe, in our class, which was short. Generally they accept 9 people per class, and we're going to run 3 days. We got in Thursday evening. We did all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then we left Sunday morning. So class size is between 6 to 9. Like I said, they were short. They do on a rotation type basis where we rotated throughout the day. We might do a couple hours with Kendall, we might do a couple hours with Liesl, might do a couple hours with Leon. And it was what I will say about the rotation of the scheduling was very, very well organized. I mean, they had us there by the minute. You know, if you're there to learn, that's what this class is for. I will say that in advance. They organized that really well. So going back to lodging, so we stayed in this lodge. They had a really nice kitchen downstairs, really nice setup to do the fur handling in another area of the building. Everybody was we were able to share rooms, which was very, very nice. We had nice bunks. Climate was good. If you wanted to sit back and watch TV, they had a TV there for you. I would say when it came to the lodging, for me, it was very comfortable. And I know a lot of guys that can make or break some guys. Some of the other classes that I've taken before, and I won't say which, you know, we really roughed it, you know. But this one here was very comfortable, it was climate controlled, and it was very, very nice. So you cannot beat the lodging as far as I was concerned. I would say if you were rated 10, I'd say 9 out of 10. I mean, you couldn't beat it. It was really good. Nice accommodations, really easy to get to. Just perfect, in my opinion. Food, if you want to look at food too, before we get into the instruction, the food was really good. I believe Leon's wife Denise had prepared all our meals for us. We had breakfast every morning. We had good breakfast. We had good lunch every day. Lunch might have been a little quicker if I remember correctly. And then we had a good supper. And on the last evening, they even fed us steak. So, I mean, we're used to some of the classes. If you ever take other classes before, sometimes it's literally bologna and chips. But not with this type of class. They did feed us real meals. And it just made us feel more comfortable, more of a homey type environment. And you just I couldn't beat the food. When it came down to rating the food, I'd give it another 9 out of 10. And I'm not being picky on that last 10, but you know, I really hit a home run in my opinion as far as the food. Okay, so now that we've talked about the process of getting signed up, the class sizes, a typical type day of this course, I think we got out at 7 in the morning, maybe 8. I think we woke up at 7. I think we had breakfast. Actually, I've got the schedule right here. Instruction started at 7:30 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night on Friday and Saturday. Thursday we got there at 5 o'clock in the evening, just light snacks. And then Sunday morning, the instruction was from 7 in the morning till about 11. And then they had a round table where you could discuss any questions you might have had about the experience through the instruction. So that was kind of in depth as far as what you can expect. We're doing like 12-hour days, looks like, pretty much. But we had a lot of fun. So going further in detail with the instruction. So we did about 2-hour shifts, I think, maybe 3-hour shifts where we cycled. We would learn something different from each of the instructors every day. I would say, like I said earlier, the instruction was well organized. It was very well thought out. What we're going there to learn is we're learning from the instructors what works well for them, the sets that works well for them, the bait and lure that's working well for them, what we need to get rid of to become more successful, to trap at a higher level. Now, you have to understand something. I've been trapping myself over 20 years, like 22 years, I think. And I'm a professional trapper on my ADC nuisance stuff. I've taken all kinds of instruction through that. And so that's been almost 20 years in the making on that. So I'm used to taking a lot of instruction. What I will say as a trapper, when I come to the table and I want to learn from like Liesl or Kendall that are putting up like thousands of coyotes, and I say, you know, I'm a small time trapper in my opinion compared to them, and I want to get to that higher level, or how do I become a more effective, higher numbers producing type of guy? How do I become more efficient? And that's what this is all about. So if I took my bait and lure bag, for example, and I set that out, and I've got like all these things, and that was the thing that I really learned about. I don't need all of that stuff, and that's really what I gathered from Liesl. I only need a couple of items: one bait, one lure, maybe some urine, but you know, it's real basic. And with the instruction, I learned that a lot. Trying to become more efficient, if that makes sense. That's, I think, what I'll talk about with the instruction as far as what you can expect. What I will say though is kind of like peeling off onion skins. I was leading to that. Is that, you know, I've been a 20-year trapper. I've learned a couple really good sets that work for me, but I've got to be able to think outside the box and approach my sets in a way that maybe there's one little thing that I'm doing wrong here and there, but at the end of the season, that's costing me a lot of fur. So I think that's kind of what I'm really getting with when it comes to the instruction. You can ask the instructors questions along the way. There's like 3 guys in our group. You know, you have one instructor with you. We're going to go out on the line. We're going to put in sets. We're going to look at the area and the topography and how you would make those sets. So there's a lot of thinking involved, a lot of critical type thinking of, you know, what are you going to do here in this situation, playing the wind into effect. There's really a lot to think about in trapping. So being able to come into a course, to what I would really stress is to go in with an open mind, a willingness to learn and to change and to adapt to what they're teaching. I think that's what really I've learned as far as the instruction is concerned. I've got to get rid of my bait and lure bag. You know, I've got to really thin it down to a few items that work well for me, and that's what I'm going to talk about with the instruction. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the food. We talked a little bit about the lodging. We talked a little bit about where it was, how much it costs. I'm giving you basically a real good rundown. You get a nice letter of appreciation or certification. If you take that back to your work, it tells you about you completed the course. At the end, they have a round table on the last day where you could sit around and ask questions to the instructors, what needs to be improved with the course. Another nice thing about this is that at the end, the last day, they did a giveaway for our class. It was the amount of $600. So all 3 of the vendors gave $200 each on this class size, and I felt like that was very generous to do. So I think that basically tells me that, you know, they're in this to want us to succeed. They're in this to bless us, to share the information that they've learned, whether that be with Leon or Liesl or Kendall. These guys are out there to help us to succeed. And I think that's the whole general idea of why they put on this course. Yeah, it's $1,250 or almost $1,300, but I look at that cost as an investment to me as a trapper. I've gained some things that will last me the rest of my life, and I'm going to take those with me. Another thing I didn't talk about is that when you go to these classes, you start to develop friendships with the people, other people that are there. And I've got a few of them that text me every once in a while. We talk, and I think it's so much fun to get new friends out of this. You come, you fellowship, you hang out. I wish we could do these type of things every year somewhere, where guys could get together, talk about their line, learn new things with the pros, and it was so much fun. So this in a nutshell, I guess this is what I've kind of learned. To conclude, for me, it was like peeling off onion skins. So this is my recap. I know that I'm not at the level I want to be. I haven't reached my full potential. If you watch my channel, you will see the growth that's happened in the last 2-3 years because of taking instruction. I'm learning from a lot of these pros. I'm developing mentors that are helping me to get to that next level. And so for me, I've got to peel away some stuff. I've got to simplify. I've got to become more efficient. I've got to be open to these new concepts and ideas, and then just applying them. It doesn't work, from what I could tell from previous experience. What doesn't work is when somebody teaches me something and it goes in one ear and out the other. You've got to be able to practice this, and that was what I learned from Kendall, is that muscle memory, just putting in those sets, doing what works. I got to make a couple changes in my sets to be more like what Kendall showed me. Peeling off onion skins, like I said earlier, you know, you got to peel off layer after layer of stuff that's not working for me, what needs to go, keeping it simple. And Liesl really taught me how to become more efficient. That's what I really appreciated with Liesl, being more efficient, looking outside the box when the areas. Sometimes I go to those honey hole spots, and I need to think my whole area. You know, there's a lot to learn. And then a special thanks to Leon and his wife Denise for the food, especially. But and the hospitality was great. But with Leon, I learned keeping things, just little things mostly. And when I apply too much pressure, that's usually where I make my mistakes when I'm fleshing. Just little things like that. And so I think I broke down pretty much, you know, what I went with, what I learned, and now I'll give you kind of my review. Okay, so this is kind of my final review of the LKL trapping experience. Hopefully you've got some really good basic information about the instructors, where it's at, how much it costs, and then the lodging, the food, and then I kind of gonna wrap all this up with my final review. So if I was looking outside the box and I was me, you know, before the class started, and then I look at the end of this and what I gained and what I paid, would I do this again? Absolutely yes, 100%. Would I recommend this to a friend? Absolutely 100%. Would I recommend this to you guys? Absolutely 100%. So I would say this has been the best class that I've taken so far. So hands down. And that's not putting down anything else I've seen in the past, but this was well organized. They took good care of us. Great hospitality and food. Made us feel welcome. I'm gonna give this probably a 9 out of 10. I mean, if I were to really break it down, I would say go for it. I'd say if you're gonna do this, make sure you go in with an open mind. Be willing to adapt and to change. You know, if they go through some of your gear, your bag, and they tell you you're carrying too much stuff or you don't need this or that, I would take that to heart. Do as they tell you, and you're going to end up becoming a better trapper for it. So that's kind of my final review. If you have any questions at all, like I said before, I don't get anything for this video. I'm totally doing this on my own accord, and I'm doing this for the guys that are on my channel, that are watching my stuff, that have asked me to put this together. But if you have any questions at all, make sure you ask me in the comment section down below, or reach out through Facebook or Instagram, through Messenger. Get a hold of me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. I would really recommend this class. So that was the LKL trapping experience. It was in Central Kansas in Minneapolis. It was with Liesl Roussat, Kendall Obermeyer, and Leon with Top Lock Stretchers. And check them out. And I'm Jinx. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Otherwise, click the big thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. And have a great day.